What's up guys, welcome to this week's Tutorial Tuesday. Today we're going to be taking a look at delay pedal basics. I want to talk about the three most common parameters that you're going to find on pretty much every delay pedal, and then I want to talk about the difference between digital and analog delays. So let's get into it. For the sake of this video, I'm using the HD 500X edit software just so we can kind of visually see what's going on, but pretty much everything I talk about should apply to most delay pedals. I'm going to pull in a delay pedal. I'll just do a digital delay pedal for now. If you've never ever heard a delay pedal before, today is your lucky day. So basically what a delay pedal does is it captures a note or a group of notes and it repeats those back in an echo-like fashion. And it's gonna just repeat and just gradually fade out, giving us kind of like a cool, like ambient kind of effect. Now most delay pedals have at least three parameters that allow us to kind of adjust how those repeats sound. And the first parameter that we're going to talk about is the time parameter. So what the time parameter is going to do is that's going to adjust like how fast or slow the repeats happen or how close or spread apart those repeats are. So if I bring down the time, if I lower the time, the repeats are going to be much quicker or much closer together. But if I increase the time, they're going to be much more spaced out or longer. And generally, the higher the time, the more notes that are going to be captured and repeated at once. The second parameter I want to talk about is the feedback parameter, and this is going to adjust how many repeats there are before the delay fades away. So if we have a very low feedback, we're only going to get like one or two repeats. Let me speed up the time a little bit for the full effect. But if I increase the feedback, we'll have much more repeats. Okay? And the feedback parameter does not affect the time parameter, at least not on most pedals. So we're still going to have the same like pulse or the same tempo for the repeats. It's just we're just affecting how many repeats there are. And the third parameter I want to talk about is the mix. Sometimes this is called level. These parameters are sometimes called different things depending on the brand of pedal, but depending on what they're called, they usually do the same thing. So mix is going to be the overall volume level of the repeats. So if we turn the mix down, the repeats are going to be very quiet. You can even hear that. And if I turn the mix up, they'll be much louder. And it's really up to you how you want to set these parameters. I mean, as long as it's sounding good for what you're playing, you're probably okay. But here's some rules of thumb that I use. When I'm setting the time parameter, I like to try to get it so that the repeats are at the same tempo or the same rhythm as the song that I'm playing. That way, everything kind of lines up well. This is where having a tap tempo on your delay pedal comes in handy. Because if you have a tap tempo, you can just tap in the beat of the song and the delays will just kind of line up with that beat or that tempo. If your delay pedal has a tap tempo, it may also give you the option to set the time in beat divisions, like quarter note or eighth note. And what this does, it really lets you like fine tune the exact rhythm of the repeats. So usually, whatever pulse you tap into your tap tempo, that's going to coincide with the quarter note beat division. And then all the other beat divisions are going to be based off of that. So something like an eighth note, this is going to be 2 repeats for every 1 tap on the tap tempo. 16th notes, that's going to be 4 repeats for every 1 tap on the tap tempo. half notes, that's going to be 1 repeat for every 2 taps on the tap tempo. And then something like a whole note, that's going to be 1 repeat for every 4 taps on your tap tempo. Then when it comes to the feedback and the mix, these I like to set opposite of one another. So if I'm using a lot of feedback and I have really long delay trails with a lot of repeats, I like to bring the mix down a little bit. This kind of helps like avoiding too much overlap from all those delay trails, which can kind of like make the sound like really muddy or washy, and you can't really hear the guitar very well. So I'll bring the mix down to help clean things up a little bit. But if I'm not using a lot of feedback, if I only have a few repeats, then I may push the mix up a little bit so that the delay is a little bit more pronounced. So let's talk about the difference between digital and analog delays. For this video, so far I've been using a digital delay, and the big characteristic for digital delays is that when they're doing the repeats are very clean, very clear. They give a very like true replication of the original guitar tone, the original note that you played. It's pretty much repeating that like exactly, just with the volume fade applied to it. So for reference, let me play the digital delay. Just gonna change my settings a little bit here. Okay. You can kind of hear how each of those repeats, they pretty much sound the same as the original note that I played, but just with a gradual volume fade. So if I turn off my digital delay, and now let's add an analog delay. See if you notice anything different about it. You may have noticed that with the analog delay, there's a lot more like color added to the repeats, and as the repeats go on, it's almost like the guitar tone like changes a little bit, or even like the tone breaks down. Here's one more time. So which delay you use is really up to whatever you prefer. Okay guys, that's what I have for you in today's Tutorial Tuesday. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, share this with, I don't know, everyone you know. Just do a mass share with everyone on your Facebook friend list. Just share it with everybody. And if you want to see like the random stuff that I do from day to day, be sure to follow me on Instagram at jon.eleyet, and I'll see you there. Okay guys, have a great week, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.